All right. Hey, Mrs. Sidebotham. Thanks for talking with me. I really appreciate it. I was just hoping to get some feedback on the lesson that I did in your classroom the other day.
Absolutely.
So, first off, we'll start with the positive. What do you think I did well? What worked in the lesson?
I did have a chance to check in with my aide who was in the classroom at the same time too. So we both talked today a little bit, and we both agree that we thought it was absolutely appropriate, right on target with what else learning goals we had going on at the time in the classroom, and preparing the kids as we're getting ready to go to Yosemite. You tapped into their prior knowledge at the beginning of your lesson. Who had been there before? What do they remember? What were some things that they know? Your cues with the vocabulary and preparing them for the article, knowing that there might be a few words that maybe they're not familiar with, and then you had them up on the screen with a visual. You had it written, and then you had the visual, and then you guys were talking about it. You called on variety of kids, so those were all super positive ways to keep the kids engaged, and helping prepare them to read the article. What else did we talk about? We said when you ask them to break out with their partners, and allowing them to choose, and then you monitor to make sure that they were really doing what they were supposed to be doing, was great management. The example you gave on the dance moves with the bubble was great, because they were kind of a little bit, I could see, in the looks of their faces, they were like kind of got what you were trying to say and how to use the bubbles, and so it reinforced for many of them. I saw their little light bulbs go on. Oh, that's what he wants us to do. You took something that they know already and are familiar with, because now they're about to do something they're maybe not as familiar with, and know how to apply it to that situation. So your example to use the tool for filling in the bubbles for organization was great. And then you monitored as they were working around the classroom. And then the recap was great, getting them to share. I really liked how you had more than one student answer the same question, and what else could we put in this bubble? Because you wanted everybody to be able to share their thinking and know that it's okay to have different answers. They don't always have to be the exact same thing. I thought it was great. It was an awesome lesson, and I hadn't seen that article before, so I thought that was really great.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely, the example with the dancing was something I was excited about. It seems like with so much that I'm reading about in my education at National, it's like connecting it to real life issues, and it seems like it almost seems like abstract sometimes, where it's like, or there's certain things that you would kind of find it hard to connect it to, the real life. But I was glad I was able to do that. So thanks for acknowledging that. So what do you think are some areas for improvement?
Well, it was like a quick thing, obviously using, like I said, with that iPad and the TV, the smart TV. If it was a tool that you were familiar with in your space that you use every day, you'd know how to manage it, right? Like, I just think technology integrating into the classroom is huge right now, and knowing how to use those tools takes practice. If you'd hung out with us all the time, you'd know that tool like the back of your hand, and you'd have it sorted.
Right.
Be able to, like I was showing you, you could take a picture of somebody's work and be able to project it back up and talk from what they wrote, or the ability to move and not be locked into a spot while you're trying to do a directed instruction type piece. Like, that is so helpful when you have those outlier seats. When you're wherever your focal is, it's great to not also be in that focal. Let it be just whatever you're trying to present. But that will come with more practice and familiarity with the tool. I would say that was really, I would say, the only thing I think that in that piece could have helped you more. It would have just added more to what you're already doing.
Right.
Being able to do that.
I like, in watching the video of myself, it's something I also kind of realized with, time with Apex, with doing announcements, with getting some feedback on like the sort of tone of my voice, and
Mm.
sometimes it feels like I'm like being a lot of using a lot of inflection or being expressive in my voice, and then you watch it and you're like, ugh, this sounds
It's always
this
hard to
sounds
watch
kind of
yourself.
flat.
Yeah.
So that was, I mean, that was the biggest thing. I guess would that be, in terms of um, maybe not the specific lesson, but in particular with sort of body movements and the way that I was like composing myself. Did you see anything that could just I could
Nothing
try to
that
be more
stood out to
intentional
me.
about?
No, I mean, the principal was in the room, which probably added to, the anxiety and the nervousness of, and then you knew you were being recorded, right? I mean, in a natural setting in your classroom, when it's your own space, also you're coming into a classroom that's not your space too, right? And that's it'll be like you are at your house. You're comfortable.
Right.
You'll move and you'll do your things. Um, I like to move around. I like to not just stay in one spot, even though sometimes I'm exhausted. I feel like when you are able to move around your classroom and your space, if kids are watching you, you know that you have their attention. And so where I think sometimes you stay in one spot, and the kids don't necessarily keep their eyes on you because they know you're going to be in the same spot. Where if they know that you're moving, they also can't be messing about or doing things that they're off task or, getting into mischief. Moving is good. I think that your tone and your inflection was great. You responded when they were excited about something. You got excited with them. Or I think one of the kids said something that was so random. You did this pause and you're like, yeah, sure. You're like, okay. It wasn't like, what?
I think we made up a
So
word.
I thought it was appropriate, right? It was totally responding to them.
Cool.
So I think when it's your space, you're gonna feel more comfortable, anyways. The whole setup in a situation like that always makes it feel a little bit weird, anyways. Right.
Cool. Well, yeah. Well, thanks a lot. I appreciate all the constructive feedback, and I'd love to work in your classroom again.
Absolutely. You are welcome anytime.
All right. I'm gonna stop the video.